My name is Dago Zuniga, CEO and founder of Difference Financial. And today really want to change things up a little bit and talk to you about a topic really that's about you. It's about your success. And I call this Success You because at the end of the day, it's what makes you happy, what makes you fulfilled when you're in control of your quality of life, your income, and you can do the things that you desire to do, whether it's being more involved in your community, whether it's being spending more time with the people that you care about most, people that you love, and just focusing on the important things in your life. I think it's very important. So that's why I call it Success You. So I want to go over some basic fundamentals. This is not going to be a full-on presentation that's going to go from A through Z on exactly everything you need to become successful. Obviously, success is not a linear path, and every individual is going to go through their own challenges, their own obstacles. You're going to have to fight your own battles, but you got to be willing to put in the work necessary to work on yourself and develop and grow to the individual that you want to become. And that's why this is called Success You. So I'm going to dive in. I'm going to hopefully share with you some ideas that can impact you. These are things that I've learned along the way, ideas that have been shared with me by mentors that had helped me help myself and my family actually position ourselves uh, to really be in control of our quality of life and spend time with the people that we care about as we're growing year by year and then just building an amazing future. So let's go ahead and dive into this. So there's four keys that I wanted to start in this discussion. The first key is love what you do. You've probably heard of this, and you sometimes maybe scratch your head. It's like, man, I'm like working my tail off. I don't enjoy what I do, or I once loved it. I don't love it anymore. How do I re-spark that fire? But you have to be in a position that you actually are loving what you do, and not necessarily. And here's the thing that I want you to really think about for a minute. It doesn't necessarily mean loving what you do all the time. There's certain aspects of what I do that I don't like or that I don't enjoy. But I don't know what it was, but at an early stage in my life, I geared myself to think, okay, right now temporarily I may not be liking what I'm doing, but it's something that I have to do to get me to X. In other words, it's on the path to get me to where I really desire to be in my life. And I love the process. I love where I was at, and I love where I'm currently at because I know that ultimately I'm on the path to where I want to be, and I'm constantly growing and learning, and therefore I love it. I truly am. I'm sure with you my personal experience, and hopefully you'll find the thing that you love or that you enjoy doing because you can't do something and be miserable at it and have the success that you want. And you could have success financially, but maybe you're miserable as a person because you don't enjoy it. It absorbs all your time. You don't have the time to be able to spend really with the people that you love most or do the things that you desire. So loving what you do is because you love what it does in a lot of areas in your life for you. So that's my definition, but you do have to do something that you could enjoy, that you could fully just put all in, be completely all in, and it consumes you. All of a sudden you wake up, or you don't wake up, but you're doing this work and you're like, oh my gosh, 10 hours just went by, or I just worked 14, 15, 16 hours today and it doesn't even feel like it. I can't wait to get started again the next day. Or you're, in the grind of it, and you've heard that saying, enjoy the grind, enjoying the process. Uh, you're enjoying the hustle of it because you truly are enjoying what you're doing. So finding that is very, very important. Most people are scared to jump into what they love doing because they think financially somehow they're not going to make it, or maybe it's leaving something stable. And that to me is not the best position to be in, because you start to let time pass by, and then you start feeling regret, and you start thinking, oh my gosh, I missed the boat, or I missed an opportunity. You can always fall back and go to work at a job, but if it's something like jumping into entrepreneurship and doing something you truly are passionate and love, then I think it's worth the risk, because you only have one life. So love what you do and go for it. So working your strengths, this is definitely something that I've learned the hard way. I think most entrepreneurs or people have struggled with this. We think that we could wear all hats and do everything, and we start working in areas that are not our strengths. I'll give you an example. I love working with people. I love the process of taking someone from point A through Z and implementing strategies and helping them get to their goals. And once I got off track and started getting into technical aspects behind the hood of maybe software, trying to design softwares or doing some other parts of the business that maybe I didn't have experience in, I started to struggle, and I wasn't working in my strength, and therefore then I started falling off on the other areas that I was having a lot of success in that were in my strengths. So you got to stay constantly just, it's almost like doubling down on your strengths, maximizing that, surrounding yourself with a team of people that maybe are great at the areas that you're weak at, and that's why it's very important to leverage those strengths. Let people go, be 100% at what they're strong at, and encourage that, and you stay on your lane, stay where you're you're strong at, and maximize that. So constantly working your strengths. I think in entrepreneurship, like I mentioned earlier, will tend to try to do it all and wear a lot of hats. Maybe temporarily you do that, but you got to find people that are going to be better at certain areas than you are, so that you could consistently focus on the areas that you're great at. Treat people right. This to me is extremely important. And I'm gonna take it to the most basic. For instance, it drives me personally nuts when you're at a restaurant and you could be with people. It could be maybe some of your friends. It could be family. It could be people that you know that are doing really well. And just because you're having success, it doesn't mean you lack respect for the people that are serving you. You treat everyone well. It doesn't matter if it's a small client who's just rubbing two nickels together that you're implementing something with. It doesn't matter. Treat them like gold. You don't know where they're going to be at in the future. It's kind of like you're meeting the janitor, but you don't know if that janitor at one point is going to be the CEO. You just got to look for the blessings in people. I personally I wasn't born with a silver spoon. I didn't start off at the top. I've worked my tail off to be where I'm currently at today, and I respect the people that are working in every single position, especially when people are giving it their all, when they're greeting you, they're smiling. You treat people well, and I promise you, if you smile at people, the world starts to smile back at you. If you treat people good, the world responds the same way, and people treat you good. So it's very important that it's not just about, um, it's bigger than you and I. This is such a powerful thing. It's so much more bigger than you and I. You got to treat people well, because you're planting seeds, and those seeds will come back. I promise you. And the fourth is love. Love on people and value them. Sow seeds that benefit others. This is extremely powerful as well, because you need to not have an expectation of somebody. You got to give with your heart and give with no expectation of them giving you something back. I'm in the business of building relationships. My business is a people business where I'm building relationships. I don't know if I'm going to do business with someone today or 5 or 10 years from now. It doesn't matter to me. I love on people. I just naturally just love people, and I feel that I could bring a lot of value to people in their lives, whether it's through what I do on the business side, or whether it's just being a friend and lending an ear. And maybe it's built, having some of the other relationships with people that I know and putting them in front of them so it could help them in their business or in their life. At the end of the day, if you're in the business of building relationships, those seeds will at one point will grow. And I really value that. I think that you've probably heard of that idea that you got to be willing to plant the seed of a tree, or plant a tree that maybe is not going to shade you, but it's going to shade the future generation. So expect that you're not going to actually be under that shade. You might not be here at that point in life, but that shade is going to be there for others to benefit from. And so that's the value. That's loving on people. So how do you value people? That's very important, right? So valuing people, if you don't value people, you will manipulate people instead of either inspiring or motivating them. There's nothing like valuing and you leading from the front, and you leading the example with strong character, with strong values, with giving, with caring. I could go on and on and on in that aspect, but you just got to value yourself and therefore value people. You've heard of the golden rule: is treat people how you'd like to be treated. But instead of trying to, if you're not valuing people, you're trying to manipulate or twist people's arms to do something that might not be beneficial to them. And guess what? People can smell that out, and people will start getting this internal sense that they can't trust you because you have this hidden agenda, or you're trying to manipulate or somehow twist their arm to do something that maybe is not of value to them or importance to them. Number two is know and relate to what they value. Listen, right? We have 2 years. Just really, really listen to them. Sometimes what people say is just the beginning part. It's just the surface. But if you really, really listen and be patient, they'll start to really uncover and share with you more depths of what really is important to them, and start to discover and really discover what's important to them. So relate to them. Be more interested than trying to be interesting. Just doesn't work if you're just trying to be interesting. The best leaders are great listeners. Those are the people that, I don't know if you've ever been in a conversation with somebody and that person just really needed to talk to somebody, and they're talking, and you're just listening, and then by the end of the conversation, an hour later, they're like, man, it was great talking to you. And you're just like, okay, awesome, it was great talking to you too. I just asked you how your day was going, and I never said one word after that. But guess what? They love you. Every time they see you, they give you a hug, they greet you, they're so excited to see you, because sometimes people just need to be heard. And so the greatest or the best leaders are the great listeners, because they really start to discover what's important to people by listening. Same thing with the best salespeople. Listen, learn, and then lead, right? So take the time to listen. Number 3 is make myself more valuable. That means make yourself more valuable. Grow, constantly focus on growth. Have a daily ritual or a personal commitment to focus on your health, focus on your mindset, grow spiritually, grow in the areas that are very important to you. And when you start to focus on your growth and you speak positive things, and you're starting to program your mind to look at the brighter side of things and being that positive optimist, right? People want to be around people that are upbeat and positive and happy, that are smiling. Nobody wants to go to a party and be with that person in the corner that's all frowning and down and or negative, right? People will want to be around you. They'll want to do business with you. They'll want to spend time with you because they love being around you, because you're that positive source. You're almost like that beacon of like, you know what? I love being around you because just good energy, good vibes from you. And you always get me to see the brighter side of things. So person develop and attend. This is how you do it. You person develop by attending meetings, events, the books you read, the audios. Now it's even the YouTube videos you listen to or view. And then your associations are extremely important. Your environment is probably the most impactful. So if you want drastic change now like this, get yourself in a whole complete different environment. Start to really take inventory of who you're associating with, who you're hanging out with, because it does make a huge difference in your life and the way you think. If you're around people that are winning at 10 times higher levels or 100 times levels than you are, then your vision becomes stretched. And once your vision is stretched, it can never go back. That elasticity of it just can't go back. It's already stretched. So be constantly around people that are doing better, that are challenging you to be better, that are not afraid to be direct with you and pull you aside and say, hey, you're messing up, or hey, good job on this, but if you do this, you're going to get better, that are course correcting you. So that's why mentors or finding a mentor is extremely important. It's kind of like, let me even break it down to a more simple way. I've discovered this early on, even when I first started going into the gym when I was a little skinny little noodle, a real skinny guy. Not that I'm in the best shape now, but I learned from an older guy that was in shape. He said, look, if you want to get stronger, you got to start working out with people that are stronger. If you want to be fit, like, to look in a certain way, then you want to be working out with people that look that way, that can teach you how their nutrition is, their diet, how their sleeping patterns are, what type of regimens or workouts they do, etc. So you get the point there. So the secret of success is your daily agenda is extremely critical. And here's what you got to consider. What are you doing on a daily basis? Are you just letting time slip by? Are you honestly being the most active and on a day-to-day, or getting, trying to get the most results out of your day? Or are you just kind of just cruising along, letting the winds just kind of blow you around, and you're reacting to your day versus being aggressively in the hunt, trying to get to your goals? And therefore you have a busy agenda because you don't have time to waste. So what's your daily agenda? What are your daily habits? So every day you're either preparing or repairing, bottom line. And accept life or lead your life. If you can't be crying or complaining or bitching and moaning, whatever you want to call it. If you're not really organized and you're not treating and respecting your time, time is the most valuable commodity that we all have, period. You could take money away, you could take everything away, but time, you can never go back and recoup time. Never. And so are you valuing your daily agenda, and therefore your habits? based on how you value your time are going to be different than someone who's just hanging out, has no goals, has no vision of where they want to be at. You're going to be a little bit more casual about everything. But one thing that one of my mentors also shared with me is that casual people they become casualties in business. Especially if you're an entrepreneur, you got to be on it. You got time to waste. You got people to see. You got things to do. If you're focusing on that. So the secret to success is determined by your daily agenda. What are you doing on a day-to-day basis, on an hour-to-hour basis, on a minute-to-minute basis? And I'm not telling you to micromanage yourself and be miserable that way, but if you are determined and you set specific deadlines or targets, then when you backtrack everything and you design that path of where you need to be at, then you're on it with a sense of urgency, right? You're not reactive. You're determined because you have certain targets to hit. So it's very important. So it's all in the mindset. So success requires no option for retreat. It's a no options at all. In fact, in Napoleon Hill, in his book of Think and Grow Rich, he describes this battle that took place where they went out and they were going to go into this battle where they had way more soldiers, way more strength than their small army, and they were going onto this island. And so he said, if we're either going to go into this fight winning or we're going to die trying, pretty much. So I want you guys to burn the ships because there's going to be no form of retreat. We're either going to be all in and fight this battle and come out alive and win because no one's running back. There's no plan B. This is it. So you got to be all in. And guess what they did? They won the battle. And it's a pretty powerful story. If you got to read that book and there's other examples of something like that, but you can't leave no room for plan B. There is no toe dipping. There's no fence sitting. No one wants to follow that. And you definitely can't surprise yourself to success. You got to be all in. An all in and full throttle attitude, a burning desire to make your dreams a reality. No more what if, or like leaving other, plan Bs. It's do or die trying. Without a sense of urgency, desire loses its value. I mean, think about it. How many people have you ever been around that were amazing athletes, but they were just lazy? They just didn't have this burning desire to give it their all, to be all in. And so it didn't matter how talented that person was. They got spanked by people that worked harder. They were just average players, but they got spanked because these other people wanted it more. They desired it more, and the talented person got spanked. And that's pretty pathetic in my opinion. So without a sense of urgency, it's a waste of talent. The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. This is Matthew 9:37. Literally imagine right now walking through a field of gold, and all the gold is on the floor, and you could pick them up or you could pick up the rocks. Or you're literally walking through this field of gold, and it's there for you to pick. Either you go pick it or you're just being lazy and you don't have the vision for yourself. You don't have goals and you don't see it for yourself. And so it's very important. It's all in the mind. So now I want to talk to you about our team, about Team Difference and our philosophy. Whether you're on our team or even considering, getting involved with an organization that wants you to become successful, to be all in, to be the best that you could be, to have success in all different areas of your life, to be a better father, to be a better leader, to be a better husband, to be a better business person. This is some of our philosophy here. We believe that we're a company of destiny. We believe truly in our heart that what we do is really impactful. It makes a true difference in people's lives. People are better off, in my opinion, from meeting with us because of the value that we bring and how we truly care about helping them get to their goals when it comes to the financials and insurance needs. And so very, very, very powerful. We've grown tremendously. We've done business in over 28 different states, probably now over 30 different states. I'm not saying that we're the most perfect organization, but we definitely have a leadership group that truly cares. It's fighting the fight on a daily basis. We're constantly growing, and we're looking for people. We're looking for leaders. We're looking for people that are hungry. You don't necessarily need to come from a background in the financial industry or insurance industry. We'll train you. The thing that we care about the most is that you have the heart and the burning desire to be somebody, to do good by people, that you truly care about helping others. But more importantly, you also want to win big in your life. You want to be somebody. And so we believe that we attract those types of people. You are on a championship team. We're winning. There's a lot of people winning from different backgrounds, different walks of life, and so you're on a championship team. We expect you to be a leader day one. Day one, whether you have no experience in leading people or running an organization or in management, it doesn't matter. It starts day one. We put you in our leadership development program where we expect you to be a leader day one, and we're gonna mentor you and guide you and help you to grow as an individual, as a business person, so you can have the most success possible. And hopefully at one point you're leading an organization of people that could do the same. Lead with the opportunity first. Share the gift that was shared to you. That is what excites me the most. I've helped many people, and that excites me, and I love what we do on the services side. But there's nothing that excites me more than seeing someone's eyes lit up with the opportunity that they have a shot to do something big in their life, to finally, be able to be in a position to be able to possibly achieve their goals and dreams. That's huge to me personally. Do it first team. In this business and this line of work of what we do, or even in entrepreneurship, you got to be a do it first leader. It's about the team first. It's not about you. The team is a lot bigger. Just like I believe that difference is a lot bigger than you and I. We have a big vision of really helping out, being that company, that most trusted financial and insurance company, not just nationally, but globally, where we're educating and empowering people and giving really people a fair and honest opportunity. We expect you to set it up and hold, step it up and actually hold the highest of standards with integrity and character. We don't tolerate any wishy-washy, negative, or gray, or people trying to cut corners or cheat or anything like that. Anybody that's ever gotten involved, if they were kind of, we reflect them out. And we're not scared to be direct with you and in your face and tell you you don't belong here, you're not a fit. We're not desperate for people, is what I'm trying to tell you. We want good, solid people that have a good heart. Treat people right. Right? There's no gossip, there's no negative stuff. It's about treating people right. We expect for you to fight for every single inch and never show weakness. And what I mean by never showing weakness is that you play hurt. It doesn't matter if something went south, or an obstacle was thrown in your way. It doesn't matter. You still have to live your life and keep moving forward. You still have that goal. You still have your family and your peers and people that love you, that depend on you, that are counting on you, that are cheering you on. You still got to go fight that fight, because that fight, that success, it's about you. That's your battle. But we're going to be there to cheer you on and to coach you and to help you, and hopefully be a part of that process. I think that's a beautiful gift to be a part of that, and we want to be a part of that. This team is not for pansies. This is definitely not for people that are crying, whining, complainers, that want everything handed to them. There are no excuses literally in the major leagues. And once you step on board with us, you're in the major leagues. And so once you got that jersey on, you're in. We're going to help you get to your goals, and you got to be all in. So difference is not a job, or what we do. It's our life. Literally, it's our life. So the last thing I want to share with you as part of this module is committing to your dreams. No one else is going to commit like you could commit. No one else probably even knows exactly what that dream is, but deep inside, there's this like butterfly feeling that you might have. It's almost like this void where, just the thought of it not happening for you would probably eat you alive. It's that you know what that is, and only you know when you go home and you're gonna go to bed. When you look in the mirror, what fight you actually gave that day. If you really gave it your all, only you know that. And so you got to be able to commit to your dreams, because no one else can do it for you. There's going to be people that are going to help you along the way. No one is self-made, but no one's going to fight the way you're going to fight and be determined the way you're determined to have you become more successful the way that you're going to do that. And so be all in. There is no greater opportunity than now. We don't have an infinite amount of time to be somebody. And when that registers in, you're going to get like, oh my gosh, time is flying. Don't wait till you get to a certain age and go like, oh, okay, now I'm going to rev it up. No, you started now. You started. If you didn't start it, in the years before, you started right now. You make a bold decision that no more excuses, no more waiting till the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. And realize that you got to get your ass in gear now, not tomorrow, now. Whatever it is that you could do right now to when we get off this, that you write your list or you write your goals. You start with something now. You take action now. And so how many people have taken their dreams to their grave and never lived them? I would say millions. And that is a sad truth, that at the end of the day, that you're going to find out that the successful people are no more special than you and I. It's just that the successful people that are living their dreams, that are happy and living in abundance, because they determined in their mind that they were going to start living. And what I mean by start living is that they weren't going to wait for anybody else. They were going to do the things they needed to do to move forward and have courage to step it up and start fighting for their dreams. And those that do that achieve higher levels of success from the other people that just stayed quietly, just tolerating their misery, walking that quiet life of desperation, and all of a sudden taking those dreams and goals that they never fought for to the grave. And that's a very sad way to live. Enjoy the process, the ups and the downs, everything. There's always a blessing in everything. There's always something you can learn. Know that you can't get too high on the highs and too low on the lows, because reality is literally right down that middle path. So that's where you got to have that emotional intelligence, and that comes with some experience too. But if you could keep that idea in mind, it will help you along the way when you start facing those highs and those lows. Because I've seen people that get high and all of a sudden they have a great month or a great year, and they disappeared because they stopped doing the things. They got confused. They weren't yet there at the finish line, but they thought somehow that wave was going to carry them over to have the successful life that they dreamed of, but they stopped. They were on their way, but they stopped. Or people that got low and they never kept fighting because they were just like literally around the corner from doing something big, and they gave up too soon. So make a decision and take massive action now. Now, know that you're the only one that's going to fight for your goals and dreams. And the last thing I want to leave with you is an old quote that I discovered when I was first entering the second stage, or that stage of going into college for myself, going into engineering. And I was really determined. That was my biggest goal and dream as a young adult back then. And this one quote, they say when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And this one quote was the one thing that I've carried with me all this to now, that I live by, is that, no matter how tough the path may be, it may only be one more step to the summit. In other words, when you have your head down and you're going through all that pain and you're climbing that hill and you're fighting that battle and you're climbing that steep mountain, maybe it's your Mount Everest, maybe it's the Himalayas for you, or maybe whatever it is, you're trying to hit something and it almost seems like you're never ever going to get there. Well, you're so busy looking down at each step, you can't see the top, you can't see the summit, but it may be one more step and you're there. So don't give up, don't quit. You got to be willing to fight for your dreams. So commit for them. Hope you got some value to this. Hope some ideas were planted, and that you know that you're deserving of success, but you are exactly where you need to be right now. And if you want to be somewhere different, then you need to grow as an individual. But the action part can only happen through you. You're the only one that could bridge that gap, and that gap's going to be bridged through your actions. So we'll see you in the next one. Appreciate you. Love you. And if you're looking at us to become part of our team, hey, we welcome. Especially if you're someone of good quality, of good character, that wants to grow and help others, then let's talk. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you.